Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Buddy, it's Tony, and welcome back to more TTBurger game reviews here on YouTube. And we're back with another PlayStation 4 game review here today, episode 285, part 1 of 1 part. Today I'm going to be looking at an action-based Japanese role-playing game. It's been a while since I looked at something like this, since I looked at Parasite Eve back in like 2021, back when I was doing stuff for Halloween and everything that year and everything. And today we're going to be looking at a game based on the Mana franchise, and the Mana franchise, it's been around since the days of the 60 days, like on the Famicom and all that stuff and everything, and we had some spin-offs on the PlayStation here. But we're going to be looking at a remake of a Super Famicom Mana game that was released in Japan, like the Super Nintendo Famicom and everything. There was a fan translation though, and the game was like not really released outside Japan unless you had the fan translation stuff or stuff like that. In this game, you chose the main character and 2 side characters for your story and real-time combat action, which was an innovative thing for its time, definitely. And we're going to start the review here and going to look at Trials of Mana, the 2020 remake for the PlayStation 4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. The PlayStation 4 version, the only version I own, released on April 24th, 2020. Trials of Mana is a great remake of a game we never had to play back in the Super Nintendo days. Given that this is the remake of a 2D JRPG, we got a graphical overhaul in 3D, kind of similar to like Final Fantasy 3 or so, like on the Nintendo DS and everything. Now, like I said, this is a great game, but there are some technical shortcomings and some storytelling flaws that do kind of affect the score here, but not very badly though. Trials of Mana starts off with you picking from one of 6 characters to choose the main protagonist and 2 secondary protagonists. For my main playthrough, I chose Riaz, the Princess of the Wind Kingdom of Lorne and the captain of the Lord Amazon Army. My second character I chose Angela, the Princess of the Ice-Covered Magic Kingdom called Altina. And my third character I chose Charlotte, the half-elf daughter of the Priest of Light in the Kingdom of Wendell. Then choosing your characters, the story begins. The main story takes place in the fictional world where Mana represents tenuous but finite energy source. In the past, Mana Goddess created the world of Mana by forging the Sword of Mana and defeated 8 monsters of destruction called the Benevolent, sealing them in 8 Mana stones before she turned herself into the Mana Tree and fell asleep. The game is set in an era where Mana started to fade and peace has ended. Several people plan to unleash the Benevolence from the Mana stones to gain ultimate power. Our 3 chosen heroes are on a quest to stop this mess from happening by searching for the Sword of Mana. Our 3 chosen heroes here have their own stories here too. My main character Reese, the Princess of Lore, is searching for her brother Elliot as her father, the king, sends to find him. Then 2 mysterious ninjas, Bill and Ben from Navari, trick Elliot to turn off the Lawrence protect wind and kidnap him. So after the Navari attack, Lawrence will with a cloud of sleep powder killing the king, kidnapping Elliot, and the kingdom of Lorne is in ruins. The castle is burned to the ground. Reese makes her escape and seeks out to find her brother. Then for Angela's story, she's the princess of the magic kingdom of Altina who has no interest in magic. Her mother, Queen Balda, uses her magic to keep the citadel as an everlasting spring, but due to Mana's power fading, the magic spell has weakened. So Queen Balda uses her assistance of the Crimson Wizard to attack other nations to claim the Mana stones, which is fatal to the caster. Angela is forced to the fatal spell, but since she is deemed useless for her magic, she flees and wants to become a powerful mage too, so her mother Valda would accept her again. Charlotte, the half-elf granddaughter of the Priest of Light who was orphaned after her parents died, she is mentored by a cleric named Heath, who felt an evil influence and left to investigate and find out what's going on. Charlotte falls into witness what he's doing only for Heath to be abducted, so she decides to go after and save him. Along the way, your chosen protagonist will meet Fairy from the Sanctuary of Mana. She chooses your main character to be her host and tells them of Mana Tree dying and the Sanctuary is in danger. If the Mana Tree dies, the Benevolence will reawaken and destroy the world, and the main character is chosen to find the Sword of Mana from the foot of the Mana Tree so peace can be restored and have their wishes granted by the Mana Goddess once again. but a great majority of the power is needed to open the sanctuary gate. Fairy does not have enough strength to continue and she needs your help. The story is epic, and I enjoy choosing your character and how it changes. That is something that more RPGs action or Japanese should do, because they should learn from this. This is really cool there. There are plot twists and more to the story, but I leave the rest to you people who want to play the game. For presentation, the graphics are pretty good. Sure, they make it a little too anime-like, but at the time the graphics are pretty good though, and still are to this day. The character models have a lot of detail to them, and lip syncing matches up to both English and Japanese due to the in-game graphics engine throughout the whole game. The enemies, I will admit, look a little weird, but look cool at the same time. Some of the supporting characters look a little generic, like the gnomes. The environments, there are so many of them to explore, and they are very huge. Where to find treasures and hidden items. There's a huge variety range from forests, to towns, to snowy ruins, hidden caves, underground passageways, and more. The frame rate is solid 30 frames per second, which is kind of disappointing that there's no 60 frames per second, but what can you do? The game still plays fine. The spells and the moves look really good too, like something from Final Fantasy, which is not bad. Not bad at all, in my opinion. The cutscenes use the in-game graphics engine and look really good, excellent, and fits really well too. This here is a perfect example of a 3D overhaul of a 2D Super Famicom RPG. Sound is good and bad. First, the voice setting, you have the English and the Japanese. The Japanese voice setting is fantastic and shows emotion in the characters and fits them really well. The English voice setting is bad. Half the actors sound bored, don't put any effort into the lines. Some of them sound too deep, too high pitched, and too annoying. And some just sound like they'd rather be somewhere else instead of here. Although some characters like Charlotte can be annoying, especially Charlotte's baby talk. Her Japanese voice setting is not so bad. It's passable, but the English is ear-rape. It's like the baby talk from a 15-year-old half-elf is kind of annoying. For music, you have the original Famicom soundtrack or the remix modern soundtrack. Both soundtracks are good, but the Famicom soundtrack is the winner. Sure, it is 16-bit sounding, but still works really well to this day. There was no need for a remix soundtrack. Trials of Mana gameplay is very enjoyable and very replayable with a lot of replay value to it. Like I mentioned, you pick your character, you make the story while in real-time gameplay action. The gameplay is fast and intense, and the real-time gameplay makes it enjoyable. A lot of Japanese role-playing games for turn-based is something here we love and grew up with, but here, in real-time gameplay, you keep attacking with no matter what, with no taking turns, just like that. You can switch the character in combat or so no matter what. You also have special moves which require these crystals you get by attacking enemies and switching between the characters is handy with this aspect. Leveling up is here, and it's, with the real-time gameplay mechanic makes it fun to level up. During your journey, you'll find milestones that level your character up and make you stronger. There are 3 classes you can reach up to. There is a post-story after you beat the main story where you have to level up to class 4. You have shops to buy items and weapons and armor and more. The controls are fluid and simple, easy to pick up for newcomers and for advanced people too. Load times are pretty short, it lasts about 5 to 10 seconds. Boss fights are epic and memorable where you must use your head and save special moves when needed. You also have save statues and save points like Moss statues where the gold ones and silver ones, the gold ones for your health, while silver ones just save your game. Trials of Mana is a huge game. It takes about 30 hours or so to beat the game. Then you can do the new Game Plus, and then you have the post storyline too, which adds to like the gameplay value there too. And you can play the game with other characters you play as, or switch off and make like Angela the main character, or Reed's the supporting character, or make Charlotte the main character, so like that, or switching them around is fun. And I wish more games were like this. And this was a fun game. I loved it, and I recommend it to fan-based games as well, and newcomers, but we have some negatives here. Some of the characters are underdeveloped, not that interesting, like the male main characters just don't really have a lot of character development as the female characters do. Some of the villains are kind of generic and stock, while others are really unlikable at times. Some areas in these big environments lead to dead ends and waste your time. You have this character called Little Cat, where you find them a certain number of times, you get prizes, but the prizes for the most part are not very helpful. To get class 3, you need to find class seeds, dungeons, to get a class item, which is very tedious and repetitive, not really fun, and finding the seeds seems a little bit awkward. The English voice acting is not very good, and the poster line is fun, but the dungeon you go in to try and fight the last boss goes on for like over an hour or so, and it can get really repetitive. They stretched it too far. But those are the only negatives I have there. It's still a fun game. I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best games on the PlayStation 4 for sure. Final thoughts: if you enjoyed the Mana games and you wanna pick up one for like the PlayStation 4 and stuff, those of you who have never played it before, I recommend Trials of Mana. It's a lot of fun for sure. I give it an 8.5 out of 10 due to the problems I have with it, but I definitely recommend this game. It's a fun game for sure. And that's pretty much it for episode 285 of my TTBurger game reviews. Stay tuned for episode 286, what we cover then, you have to find out next, which all I gotta say. This is Tony, peacing out, have a great day, and hope you guys are okay, hope you guys are all feeling better and recovering from COVID or whatever sickness you have. Just stay inside, just eat a lot of soup, just don't really be out much like that because it is bad out there. But y'all, like I said here, you all have a great day, and see you all in the next episode.